Hello, welcome to the Digital Prosperity Podcast with Will Williamson, that's myself, and with you, Dave. Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Hey, Will. Hello, everybody. Nice to be back on another podcast, Will.
Yeah, isn't it just?
Yeah. It's an amazing thing today, Will, that we're smiling amongst the world going to implode.
It's pretty chaotic, isn't it? Market's going crazy, threat of nuclear war.
Hey, what we got to smile
Pound
about?
crashing. The wheels keep on turning, don't they?
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
Keep...
Yeah. I think our lucky listeners are looking forward to you and I, Will, because we always bring a bit of sunshine through our podcast, and that's what we're here for. Yeah.
Well,
that's if we wake up tomorrow.
That's bleak. Yes.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I went over the top a bit there. Come back, listeners.
Assuming we do that, we recorded a couple of episodes a while back about surviving and thriving through a recession.
Correct.
And through difficult economic times.
Yeah.
So given the backdrop we were just talking about, go back and listen to those. I recommend that you spend some time on that because that is useful. But today we're going to talk about
Not only useful, Will, we are right.
Yes.
Anybody who wants to know how to get through, yes, we're not quite in recession now, should absolutely go and listen to that because there's a lot of gems in there that will help anybody. Yeah. And it won't cost them anything to listen.
Yeah. But today we are going to talk about a key component of surviving and thriving through a recession, which is a CRM system.
Yeah.
Now, at JDR Group, we produce free guides and resources for small and medium-sized businesses and business owners. And the last guide we created was a guide to the HubSpot CRM system. Now, if you've not heard of HubSpot, we're going to take you through what's involved, what the CRM system is, how it works, and we want to start with, first and foremost, why you need a CRM system.
Yeah.
Because approximately half the businesses we talk to don't actually have anything. They're still using spreadsheets and Excel.
Yeah, they are, Will. All right, we should say, for fairness, there are other CRMs out there.
There are.
Okay, which are
massive world of CRMs.
Massive world of CRM.
We've used plenty ourselves over the years.
Absolutely, we have. It's funny you should say that.
We're nearly in double figures with what we've tried.
Yeah.
We've worked with HubSpot for a long time, like 10 years, but prior to that, we tested all sorts of different systems.
And I think that's the point, Will, that we should make. When one of the reasons why we're so wedded to HubSpot is because we have both in JDR and on behalf of other clients worked with other CRM systems. And by a long margin, we haven't seen anything to match HubSpot. So it's not a case of we've got vested interests. We actually have been out there in the market and even to this day working with other CRM systems. So we do have a bit of experience in why we have decided that, in our view, HubSpot is one of the best out there.
Yeah. So most people listening will know this already, but CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management System. And it is a software platform where you can keep a record of all your customers, contacts, people that you deal with. And every CRM system has different features and does slightly different things.
Yep.
But generally, they are a way of keeping track of all your contact information, keeping a track of the history of your communication with customers, contacts, prospects, etc. You usually have some facility to be able to email contacts or groups of contacts, and you are able to track things like your sales process and so on. Again, every CRM system is slightly different, does different things, but those are the main things. A lot of businesses still track all of their inquiries or customers or jobs on an Excel spreadsheet.
They do.
They have their customer database in their account system.
They
don't have any active CRM system.
Yeah. Or they've invested in this CRM and treat it like an address book.
Yep, absolutely.
Very much.
Words right out of my mouth.
Forgive me, Will.
Yeah, absolutely.
For anyone out there old enough, they'll remember the old Filofax.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was the first CRM system I remember.
So I remember talking to a client in about 2005 that sold metrology equipment, and he had this Rolodex on it, and he was just going through the cards one at a time, calling people, trying to get some sales.
That's right, good old days.
You know, he must have had thousands of these things. Right now, all of that's on this in a CRM system.
100%. Now, if anyone out there falls in the category of what you just described, where they either haven't got a CRM system, they've got one and not maximising it, they really ought to listen to what we've got to say, because for most businesses that really adopt this at a high level, it revolutionises their reporting systems, their sales growth grows, and their customers get a better experience because they're in more control. So it's really worthwhile, getting on top or investing in the CRM system.
So before we had a CRM system, I had a pile of paper on my desk.
I remember.
About as tall as I am. And
Will's tall, by
which is quite tall. And trying to find the details of someone that I needed to call or follow up, I used to literally take about 15. Do you remember? 15 minutes in the morning, sifting through the pile and lifting out the people I was going to call that day. So a CRM system saves time. It's a more efficient, more organised way of keeping all really important database about who your customers are, their contact details, and so on. Notes all in one place that's easy for access. And it's also something that pile of paper wasn't very accessible for anybody else in the business. But a CRM system, I could make it possible so you could have access to that information, see those notes, or anyone else in the team. So if a contact called in, you could look them up on the system, see who they were, who was dealing with them, what the last communication was, what was going on. And I relate it sometimes to, in the past 10, 20 years, I've spent a lot of time on hold with call centres. And, with big companies,
well,
the first person that asks, all right, how can I help? You go into a long explanation of what you need, and they go, right, you're through to the wrong person. I'm going to patch you through here.
That's right.
They pass you through to someone else that says, right, how can I help? And you've got to go through the whole thing again. And then you have to call someone back the next day, and call back the next day, you've got to go through the whole thing again. With a CRM system, what you're able to do is have better communication with customers, because you can keep a record that other people can access and see.
But more importantly, because I can remember not only the days when you used to have everything all over your desk, but also, not just you, by the way, Will, but also when, for example, going back to the Filofax, people that really utilised that back in the day, that was precious to them. And everywhere they went, they took the Filofax in them. Or I can remember being at dinner, on more than one occasion, somebody would say, oh, where's my Filofax? And they'd panic if they couldn't find it. Look what we've got to now, where as long as you got your phone, doesn't matter where you are in the world or any other device, you can connect straight in to your Filofax.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to carry it around with you everywhere. You got to bother or be challenged about losing it, because it's always there, saved somewhere. You
can't accidentally leave it on a train or in a taxi or something. That data's gone forever.
You can lose your phone, but that data is still stored for you, waiting for you to come back. So for any small to medium-sized business, this is gold now, and we shall go through exactly why you should treat it as gold.
And so it is accessible from anywhere. So you've got it on your phone, any device you log into, most systems anyway. It also, modern CRM systems integrate with other tools that you use. They connect up with your email system, so Outlook or Gmail or whatever you use in your business. They often connect to your account system. They connect up to all sorts of different tools that you might be using, your website. So it takes out a lot of manual work that you do otherwise. It makes things faster, makes it easier to access things, get information. You can be more effective as a salesperson.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned earlier the reporting, and having all of that data in one place means that you can then get insights that you can use to improve your business.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want CRM? But more importantly, why would you invest in one and not use it like the way you just described?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm not having a go at anyone, but this podcast is about how we help business owners and businesses, or whoever else is interested, move them forward with the tools, yes, and the systems that are available to them through marketing.
And that is one of the key reasons why we recommend HubSpot as the CRM. Because one of the reasons why a lot of people, business owners, companies, they invest in a CRM system. So we have a client now that we did some initial work with about 6 years ago, and they've recently come back, and we're now working with them full time. When we spoke to them 6 years ago, they had a CRM system, an expensive CRM system that they hadn't really used. When they came back 6 years later, they still had the same CRM system and they still weren't using it. And they'd spent this money, they were continuing to pay the license fees and so on. And one of the reasons is a lot of CRM systems are complex and difficult to use. And so if the users, the salespeople, the customer service teams, the marketers in your business don't adopt it and don't like using it, then it doesn't take off and you don't get all the benefits from it.
Yeah.
And so moving on to why we're talking about HubSpot specifically, one of the key things that comes up in HubSpot's reviews and in our experience of helping people adopt HubSpot is that it is really quick, simple, straightforward, intuitive, easy to use, and again on any device.
One of the challenges business owners have why CRMs aren't used is because of what you just said, the complexity of getting these up and going off the ground and having an adoption of the key people in the business using it. Because if it's complicated and everybody eventually goes, you know what, let's just use this bit.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me, I always found interesting, is that they might only use a little bit of it, but it's so important to the business. They keep on paying the fees. They don't go back to what they were doing before.
Let's go back and use paper.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Yeah,
they see the importance of the little bits that they're using. So if we could just help through this part, get them expand that and see how all of it is an integral part to growing any business.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic, I think, Will. So pin
Yes,
your ears
definitely.
back, listeners.
Yeah, so the fact that HubSpot is quick and it's easy to use. I mean, to illustrate this point, we have a client that's literally blind, can't see, and they use screen reading technology to be able to use websites and emails and so on. And this person is able to use HubSpot and update it and use it as their CRM system through help with this screen reading tool. But if someone who's blind can use HubSpot, then anybody can use HubSpot.
Yeah.
So ease of use is really, really important. The second is it's free, so it's you can have an account set up in about 2 minutes and be entering your data and logging emails and building up contacts. There are paid versions. We'll go on to that shortly, but for you to be able to try it and use it extensively for free, we've got some clients that use it and run their businesses with HubSpot and have never paid a penny for it.
That's right. Yeah. Which is amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. The other massive benefit of HubSpot is that it's not just a CRM system. HubSpot was originally a marketing platform when it first launched 20 odd years ago. Less than that, isn't it? It's 2007 or something.
I was going to say, but I don't
15
remember
years
You're
ago.
better than me on that.
And so it started out as a digital marketing platform for blogging, email marketing, automation, social media. And Then it developed into a CRM system and then a sales platform, and has now got a customer service platform as well. So anyone that's using tools like Zendesk, etc., HubSpot has tools like that of its own these days. It's even, in the last few years, gone on to develop a really powerful website platform to rival the likes of Squarespace or Wix or any other place that you might go and create your own website, or have a website that you can easily edit and change. So it's HubSpot has been designed starting with marketing and then spreading out, all geared around business growth.
In particular, small to medium-sized business growth.
Yeah.
Whether you're a one-man band all the way up, yes. When we were looking at and use lots of other CRM systems, they have been designed for huge companies.
Yes.
But they sell them to small companies as well. And there's too much in them, and they're very complex. Mm-hmm. I've yet to meet a CRM system that's designed for a larger company, sold to a smaller company, and it suits their needs.
Yeah.
Yet to see that. If anyone knows anything out there, let me know, but I've yet to see one.
Yeah.
They end up using only a small fraction of it because it's one of the reasons so complicated. One of the things, Will, that I want to add with the list of great benefits of CRM is that for a business owner, yes, it's so easy to use that it means that adoption is easier in the business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when the adoption's easy in business, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And I've yet to see anyone who's adopted the CRM and worked with it properly and not have sales increase off the back of it. Mm-hmm. It always goes up because you're able to track when what gets measured improves. Mm-hmm. And just by a byproduct of using it, you actually end up measuring and it improves what you're doing.
So with HubSpot, you can measure every element of your marketing.
Yep.
So people come to the website, how many leads, who those leads are, what happens to them, where they come from, how your ads are performing, how your emails are performing, how your social media is performing, etc. You're also able to track and measure every element of your sales process. So you can run sales forecasts, conversion rate reports, performance and activity of individual salespeople, and you can track how satisfied and happy your customers are.
Yeah.
You can provide. You can track and measure your response times to customers.
Yep.
You can track and measure the performance of your website. So every element that goes into growing your business, which is basically attracting customers, converting them into sales, and then delivering great service, you can track and measure in one place, which, as you say, leads to improvements in the business and growth.
Yeah, I'm just going to pick out a couple of those, Will, that you've just mentioned, those benefits that I think, with my experience of business owners, really works. Mm-hmm. One is, not for all, but for a lot of business owners, understanding what the salespeople are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, is always, they always find that difficult. Mm. Yeah. And when salespeople aren't getting results, a lot of business owners aren't always quite sure what to do.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest reasons for that is a lot of business owners do not come from a sales background. Yeah, I'm being a little bit controversial, but that's my view. And therefore, they haven't got the nuances or understanding of how salespeople should and can be getting the best results for their company.
Yeah.
If they get a hang of the CRM system, it will answer a lot of those questions for them. Mm-hmm. But not only that, they can keep track of who the salespeople are presenting to and how well they're doing that presentation in order to get the sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the tracking process within there.
Yeah, I mean, can track, view every quote. You can have quote approvals to keep control of what your salespeople are sending to customers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big part of what HubSpot can do.
Don't forget what he's going to say, but I think this is important as well. A lot of business owners, marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be a little bit controversial now. When you talk to a lot of business owners, what's your conversion rate? Yeah, it's good. Once I see somebody, I convert them.
Yeah.
Yeah? Brilliant. And I have no doubt that's true. But what we've found is what they don't talk about is the people that contact them that they never get back to.
Yes.
Or the people that contact them with an early inquiry, but they're not ready to actually buy it yet, which is a very important part of marketing, which is an essential part of understanding in your business. With a CRM, if you take the time to understand that, your conversion rate will go up with people that you wouldn't have been converting, or customers, sorry, that you wouldn't have been converting before.
Yeah.
So there's two areas I wanted to pick out because they're two major benefits.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, with HubSpot, you can systemize parts of your sales process, script certain conversations, or provide templates for certain emails, etc. So yeah, there's a lot of ways that HubSpot can help increase sales. So one of the questions we get asked when we talk to people about HubSpot is it really free? And it's a kind of a yes and no answer. Obviously, it is free, but there are paid versions as well. A lot of what we've talked about today, you'll get with the free version of HubSpot. But if you set up an account, there will be little padlocks and things that you say, well, you need to upgrade for that. And then there are paid platforms of marketing, sales, customer service, website tools that range from like starter level products at £30-40 a month up to professional level products, right up to enterprise kind of grade tools. So if you are a business looking to scale up and grow, with HubSpot, you can start on a relatively low level. And as your business grows, HubSpot will be able to grow with you and scale with you all the way to being a global enterprise with offices all over the world and thousands of people working for you. HubSpot can cope with that, right down to, you know, start up on day one of the business when it's just you. So, and everything in between.
So let me take you back a bit, Will. In terms of the beginning of this podcast, we've just talked about the benefits of CRM, especially the HubSpot one. But it's a fact for anyone that's listening. We talk to business owners every day. Yeah, we have insights into business owners over 15 years that a lot of companies out there don't have, because literally for 15 years we've been talking to SMEs. And not a lot of people, a lot of companies in our sphere can say that. So let's talk about the reasons, Will, why SMEs do not adopt this, in the numbers that they should. What would you say is the number one reason?
Oh, I've got a few. But lack of awareness. So just not knowing what this technology does or why they should use it. So if what you've got you don't see a problem with, why change? There are people that have been burnt or have had expensive white elephants before, and then there are people that they want something that's perfect, or they want something that can do everything in their business. So like let's say if you've got a team of engineers out on the road, I want something that's going to be able to manage my accounts, manage my team of engineers and their diaries and all their appointment setting, manage the workflows in my business, manage all my marketing, and then you end up looking for something that does everything you could possibly do, and no one system does that. So those are the main reasons people don't get started. But a lot of people get started and don't really utilize it, and that's where we come in.
Correct.
So we we're a HubSpot partner, one of the leading HubSpot partners in the UK.
Yeah, even if we say so ourselves, well.
And that's based on...
But that is factual.
It is, and it's based on 10 years of working with the platform, using it extensively in our own business. And there's a number of ways that we help. We implement HubSpot into businesses, so we can do all of the technical setup work that is needed to get it working together with your website and so on. We provide an onboarding service to give you training, and we've recently developed, so you can either have your hand held all the way through with one of our members of the team here, talking you through and pointing out each feature you can use and how you can use it and how it would benefit you and setting things up with you. Or there's a low cost option where you can get access to a training portal and go through absolutely everything yourself and be guided through the HubSpot onboarding process. We have sales training, we have customer service training, and we have marketing training for HubSpot. If you want your website to be built in HubSpot, we have website design. And then ultimately, once you're actually up and running with HubSpot, you want to generate more leads and convert those leads. And as a marketing agency, that's where we specialize in working with businesses with HubSpot to help them get the very best from it.
Yeah, and as you can tell from what Will said, how we help businesses is comprehensive. But I want to also add, you don't have to talk to us. That's not what this podcast is about. If you want to talk to us, we'd be delighted to talk to you. But first and foremost, we want to spread the awareness of how important it is for you to have an effective marketing system that includes your CRM in your business. We're coming into turbulent times, as the world does. It runs hot and cold, the world. You can have 10 years of relative steadiness, then another 10 years of upheaval. But here's the point. If you have an effective way of working in your business, you stop the feast and famine. So when your market changes, you're not affected by that as much as your competitors, because you've adopted a way of working that sees you push through. We have lived through, in the 20 years we've been in business, many ups and downs. But speaking personally, from our own perspective, by adopting the skills, techniques, the know-how and knowledge that we talk about in these podcasts, that's given us quite a steady company that's not pushed around by the markets for quite some time now. And what we want you to have is to share that ability not to be bobbing around in the sea when you can sail straight through it. So if nothing else, please listen to what Will had to say, if you even ignore my little jitty at the end, because we've seen companies adopt this who were flailing around and move to a real secure position.
So if you'd like to speak to us, go to our website, find out more about what we do. We've got a HubSpot services section on the website. We also, as I mentioned right at the start of the podcast, recently released a new guide called The Guide to HubSpot CRM, and that's a great place to go if you'd like to find out more.
Yeah.
Go to our website, under the resources tab, you'll see our free guides page, and you can download it there. And I'd encourage you to go to HubSpot.com, get a free account, get started, have a play around, and then talk to us if you'd like some help.
Yeah. I can only endorse what Will said. Well, this has been another fascinating time.
Yeah,
Will.
let's hope we make it to tomorrow. And hope that we sail through these turbulent times.
I'm sure everything will be okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just got to work hard with focus, with confidence.
Correct.
Do the work on the right things, make our businesses as effective as we can, and come out on the other side.
And if you do what Will just said, guaranteed you'll come out on the other side. We're not saying it's easy, by the way, but it's worth it to come out on the other side relatively unscathed. On that note, it's been brilliant. Once again, nice to be on a another podcast. Look forward to the next one.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
listening.
Will.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.